Hi everyone, it's Reefer here and welcome to a new video. This is Reef Keeping 101 and today I will be showing you around the tank to show you some of the latest updates that I did to the tank to get it up and running again after a very long period of decay, or at least a very long period when it was not running that well. So to start off, as you can see, the tank is starting to look more and more colorful as we go, which I'm very happy to see. And I'll talk you through a couple of things that I've done and that I'll be doing to further increase this. I'll also be looking to add some more corals over the next few weeks and months, as of course a beautiful reef tank can't do without a couple of gorgeous corals. At least that's my opinion. I've been running this tank. I have been running this tank for quite a while without too many corals. To be fair, although I really love the view of the fish, I did miss the coral colors quite a lot. So I'm very glad to see that, that it's turned around and that we're getting there again. So the first thing that you'll notice is that you're hearing a sound on the background, which is the chiller that I have installed on my tank. I'll quickly walk to it. So as it's summer again in the Netherlands and of course everywhere else as well, the weather also starts to get quite hot again. So to keep the tank at a steady 24.5 degrees, I've bought this Jecod TK2000, which is able to chill the tank up to 2000 liters, which is quite sufficient for this tank as it's only 1400 liters. I've directly attached it to a hole in the ceiling, which has a air suction unit on top of the roof of this, my home office, with what has been my home office for the past year during the COVID period, as you can see right there. So yeah, the tank is running stable at a stable temperature, so that was the first thing that I was getting to. That really helps. The chiller both cools and heats the tank. I know there's people that have air conditioning in their homes. We don't right here, so this is kind of the alternative that I got is installing a chiller, which a lot of people in the Netherlands do when they don't have air conditioning in their houses. So yeah, that's one of the things. The other thing which I will be doing is I will be removing the parrotfish from this tank. Not because I don't think it's very beautiful, because I think it's one of the most colorful fish in the tank. The behavior is really cool. But it's definitely putting a lot of bioload into the tank, and that's something that I want to reduce as much as possible. So for now I made this decision, reduce the bioload, and to see how that will hopefully positively affect the tank in the longer term. Yeah, that's it. That's the reason that I'm selling it. Other than that, I have been cleaning up the sump. I'll show you in a minute. Another thing that I did, and I've been gradually doing this over the past few months, I've been removing a lot of sand from the tank. So although there's still quite a lot of sand left in the tank, as you can see, it's a lot cleaner than it was a couple of months ago. Of course, these sand gobbling gobies are doing a very good job. Valenciana sexcutata, by the way, to keep the sand in motion, so they're chomping it away, and the second one is somewhere behind there. But other than that, reducing the amount of sand makes it easier for both the sand sifting starfish and the gobies to move it around and to keep it as clean as possible. So as you can see, it looks pretty well, but even though the temperatures are quite hot, and normally you would expect temperature fluctuations to have some impact on the cyanoalgae, for example. But yeah, including the chiller and the less amount of sand that there's in here, that's in here right now. I think it's a good combination, and I'm really glad to see that the combination works. So that's definitely another plus point. What I did a couple of weeks ago, I'll show you right now. I'll have to dig into the sump area for that. So there's a couple of things that I've been doing for a while now, and some new updates. So I'll walk you through it from left to right. Currently there's no light installed in my sump, so I'll quickly walk you through it using the light of the LED light of my iPad. Next week there will be a light in this sump, but it's a bit too early for that. So one of the changes that I made is I replaced the two old pumps which fed the chiller and the UV light that you can see right here, the UVC unit, with one single new return pump, which is a Maxspect Jump DC 6K. So it can pump out 6,000 liters an hour, although it's only at 20%, because it only needs to feed the chiller, which is on the other end of the tank, and the UVC unit. As you can see, it goes up here, and then I've installed some PVC and some silicone, of course, to get it to the right place. So using the black silicone hose right here to get into the UVC light, the white hose to get it out, all silicone, and then there's also black silicone in the back used for the chiller. Another thing that I did is thoroughly clean the skimmer that's right here. As you can see, it's generating a lot of bubbles. Of course, as you might know if you've seen my previous videos, I have two skimmers, so one in the first area of the sump and one in the second area of the sump where the return pump is. Both have been running pretty well, and as you can see, they're foaming away, so they're doing a good job. But what I did recently, and that's 2 weeks ago, I cleaned out this entire area of the sump because it was very muddy, as you might call it. There was a lot of detritus in here, and I've taken out everything, all the equipment, all the rocks that are in the back here. As you can see, I'll try to show you. There's quite some live rock in here as well. Of course, that's good for keeping the bacteria, the good bacteria in the tank. But I took out everything, did about a 100 liter water change, and then refilled her up. And so yeah, it's clean again, which was the first time in nearly 2 years that I've cleaned this sump. So that's something that really needed to be done, and will hopefully also benefit the health of the tank, as it's now clean again. And the second thing, which has been in there for somewhat longer, but it's also shown great results over a longer period of time, which is a power filter. I'll quickly try to show you. Hopefully my phone doesn't fall into the sump. It's right here. As you can see, it's a Jecod pump, so well, you might know it as Jebao. And on the other end, I've installed a filter floss with a PVC pipe with holes in it. So it's actually a pretty plain return pump, but using the cartridge that I created, attaching it to the return pump, it creates a lot of flow in this area of the sump. As you can see, the top end, and the filter floss will pick up all of the detritus that's floating around here. So this is a very efficient way of making your own power filter, and a very powerful one at that. As you can hear, it barely makes any noise, so that's a very positive point as well. Usually power filters can rattle quite a bit, and this one is very silent. So yeah, might be a tip if you're looking for one of these filters. You can create it yourself. It's pretty easy, and it will clean your tank by a lot. So those are the updates to the sump that I wanted to show you. I'll quickly get back to the tank. So I wanted to give you a quick look around the tank, as it's getting better and better. I really start to enjoy the tank again. The fish are looking healthy. The corals are looking good. Of course, there's still mainly soft corals in this tank. I don't think this will ever be a perfect SPS tank, as the nutritional values in this tank are just a lot higher than you would ultimately like when keeping SPS corals. For example, you can see here with the Stylophora, which is on top, that's not looking great. There's still a bit of life left, but I don't have much hopes that it will stay alive. But on the other end, if you look at the soft corals, like for example the Cineraria dura, yeah, it's just very beautiful. And also the Gorgonians, for example, here, or the Discosoma, which are here, are really looking great. These have been in here for about a month now. So the softer corals are doing very well, and I hope that by removing the parrotfish, that the nutrients will go down again just by a little bit, so we can also get these LPS up to color again. As you can see, the orange one right here is doing pretty well, but then this green one with orange is the colors are a bit faded, and that's mainly due to a nutritional yeah, there's too much nutrients in the tank for it to color up as much as I would like. But of course, the softer corals like the mushrooms, they don't really care about that. They will be beautiful anyway, and give this tank the color that it deserves and needs, for it to well, to keep looking attractive and keeping the hobby alive for me. So yeah, that's quite the update again. We're already at 12 minutes. I hope you enjoyed the update. So onwards and upwards, getting this tank more stable, removing nutrients, reducing nutrients, and hopefully enjoying it for the next couple of years. So I'll see you in the next video. Thanks again for watching, and bye-bye. Stay safe. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you very much.